So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction, man. And where we headed today, we're going out to Asia, man. So what they captured in Asia shocked the world. Asia, home of Mount Everest. And you know, another crazy fact I heard, out there, that South Korea has a separate Valentine's Day for the single people. I know that was just like caught y'all off left field, but I mean, how y'all feel about that? That's crazy, right? That's crazy, man. I just thought that was that was just a crazy fact that I found out. That's insane. But anyway, we're gonna get to this video, man. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button, join the fam. I got the hiccups now. Here we go.
Asia is at the top of a large number of bucket lists, and it's easy to see why. There's something new to experience in each region of the continent, but being such a historical and culturally lush place, there has to be a flip side. You're about to see some shocking things that may or may not have been hiding in plain sight.
It makes my legs shiver. I dare not look down when I was climbing upstairs just now because I felt so frightened.
Unlike anything that's ever been discovered anywhere else in the world. It's wild, it's weird, and it's wonderful. Don't say we didn't warn you. 15 unsettling discoveries in Asia nobody can explain. Number 15. Ghost City. People like to joke that Kangbashi in Inner Mongolia is a new Chinese city that, apart from people, has everything. It was also known as China's Ghost City for the rich. The region's sudden ascent to wealth came in 2004 from its plentiful reserves of energy and mineral resources. It had 1/6 of the country's total coal reserves. Its proven natural gas reserves were equivalent to 1/3 of the country's total, and its proven rare earth and kaolin deposits accounted for half of the total domestic reserves. These rich underground resources have propelled an economic growth rate of nearly 30%, with urban development to match. Talk about boomtown. As the government proclaimed in 2009, Inner Mongolia has the fastest growing economy in China. Not anymore. In the early years, fewer than 30,000 people lived in a city that's been built for 1 million. It seemed empty and desolate. Apart from street cleaners, the roads were virtually empty, and most of the residential buildings were entirely dark at night. Kangbashi gained the reputation of being a ghost town. It lacked amenities like supermarkets, clothing shops, departments, and other convenience stores. And it's still pretty empty. Years later, Kangbashi is still working hard to attract residents. Now, let's get ready for today's open discussion. If this image is authentic and a creature like this still thrives in Asia today, consider our trip canceled.
Consider our trip canceled. No wonder the streets are as empty as I just seen them. Yeah, I got stuff looking like this.
In fact, a lot of tourists might not make the journey if anything this scary looking might be lurking there. Whatever it is, it doesn't look happy. Could something this nightmarish look anything but terrifying? The Namahaji are Japanese ogres who, legend says, once terrorized the countryside if they weren't bribed with food and once a year, a human sacrifice. The legend survives in a ritual that takes place in Japan on New Year's Eve, when people dressed in masks go out door to door, threatening the lazy and scaring children into hard work and good behavior. Thankfully, it's nothing but a myth. Although this picture looks a little too real for us. Do you think the legendary Japanese ogre could be based on truth? Leave a comment with the hashtag open discussion. You want to know a little secret? If you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you'll have superpowers for the rest of your life. So what are you waiting for? Time to fly. Number 14. Glass bridges. This glass footpath is a skywalk bridge in China that opened in 2016. The bridge.
I'm laughing because I just seen a TikTok the other day me and Queen was looking at where the little baby's walking across the glass and he just waddling across the glass and then he happens to look down and then this is like that. But but look at this aerial view of it.
Built as an attraction for tourists, is glass bottomed and transparent. When it opened, it was the longest and tallest glass bottomed bridge in the world. And
that's me right there, just holding on. Nah, I'm holding on.
Bravery is required to complete the walk if you're scared of heights at all. It measures 1,410 feet in total length and 20 feet in width and is suspended about 980 feet above the ground. The bridge spans the canyon between two mountain cliffs in a national park in the northwest Hunan province. The bridge is made of a metal frame with more than 120 glass panels, layered with 2-inch slabs of tempered glass. There are 3 long swings attached to the underside of the bridge. There's also a provision for making a 935-foot bungee jump, considered to be the highest bungee jump in the world. But just 13 days after the bridge was opened, the authorities put out a notice saying they were closing the bridge due to overwhelming visitor traffic. The bridge, designed to hold 800 people.
Yeah, that's a good question. How many people, because I see a lot of people on this bridge. What's capacity? I need to know that. How many people are allowed on this bridge at one time? Because they flooding it right now.
At a time and expected to be visited by about 8,000 people per day, had reportedly attracted more than 80,000 visitors. So the government decided to suspend operations due to the urgency to improve and update the attraction, and the bridge reopened soon after it was completed. Number 13.
Too many people. Too many people.
Killing Stone. The stone in question is known as Sishu Siki and is located in the volcanic mountains of Nasu, an area of Japan. The stone reputedly kills anyone who comes into contact with it, but since it's an area filled with poisonous gas, there could be a rational explanation for that. Duly noted. But there's a legend behind this belief. People believe the stone is the transformed corpse of a beautiful woman who lived during the reign of Emperor Toba about 1,000 years ago. But she was actually a 9-tailed fox working with an evil lord to overthrow the emperor. But before the fox could enact her dastardly plan, a warrior killed her and her body was transformed to stone as she tried to flee. An extra part of the legend states that a Buddhist priest resting near the stone was threatened by the Lady Fox's spirit. After certain rituals were performed, she promised not to haunt the stone anymore. However, that didn't stop rumors circulating that anyone who touched it ended up dead. And the so-called killing stone made international headlines when it split recently, spewing out toxic gases. It's most likely that the split was the result of natural weathering. Despite a logical explanation, many people saw the split as a bad omen. Number 12. Stigmatized houses. Do you want cheap rent in Japan? Try renting a haunted house. Japanese folks have a belief that the spirits of
if there's one place on earth I am not, it's there. No, they for real.
Dead live in the house they died in. A Jaikobuken is a property where the former occupant died of unnatural causes such as suicide, murder, fire, or neglect. Stigmatized properties like these are a property that buyers or tenants may shun for reasons that are unrelated to their physical condition or features. On top of that, it includes things like whether or not an organized crime organization used the space or if a religious cult exists nearby. But on the flip side, they can be rented or purchased at very low prices, provided you're okay with the history of the home or apartment. There are a growing number of individuals and companies that specialize in purchasing these stigmatized properties at huge discounts, and either renting them out or reselling them in the future. Could you live in a so-called cursed property? Although both of the civil law of Japan dictates that realtors inform any prospective tenants of any stigma involving the previous tenant or property, the realtors themselves have to decide what exactly is worth informing prospective tenants about. Some things are better left unsaid.
What?
Number 11.
Wait, what? No, you better tell everything. You hear? See, this is the type of stuff you gotta worry about. Y'all be careful.
School filled with sharks. In Japan's education systems, nearly all elementary schools come equipped with swimming pools. While many children fantasize about sharks swimming in their pools, the closest they get is insects and occasional tadpoles growing there in the off-season, when the pools are unused and covered with algae. Those childish shark dreams came true at the Marudo Schoolhouse Aquarium, which is housed in an elementary school that went defunct in 2006. In its outside swimming pools, you can find a variety of creatures such as sea turtles, hammerhead sharks, stingrays, mackerels, and mahi-mahi, collected straight from the local fishing ports. The aquarium was founded in 2018 and was initially meant to use the disused schoolhouse to store its collection of zoological specimens. Hoping to make use of abandoned facilities, the mayor propelled the council to open an aquarium that focuses on the local ecosystem. One of the most unique aspects is that its exhibits are strictly seasonal, as the pools draw their water from the sea right in front of the aquarium. As such, new fish, sharks too, referred to as transfer students by the staff, are brought in every season. You're not actually allowed to swim with sharks, but it is a fascinating sight nonetheless. Number 10.
Transfers.
Blue Volcano. This volcano on the island of Java in Indonesia has two of the most unusual occurrences on Earth. The first is a wide lake filled with turquoise blue water. The color of the water is a result of its extreme acidity and a high concentration of dissolved metals. It's the world's largest
Whole place looked like Death Valley. You hear me?
highly acidic lake with a measured pH as low as 0.5. The cause of its acidity is an inflow of hydrothermal waters charged with gases from a hot magma chamber below. The second and most impressive occurrence is an active solfatara that emits hot, flammable, sulfurous gases. These ignite as they enter Earth's oxygen-rich atmosphere and burn with an electric blue flame. Some of the gas condenses in the atmosphere to produce flows of molten sulfur that also burn with an electric blue flame, and a continuous stream of sulfur-laden gases blast from fumaroles at the side of the lake.
Nah, fam. See, the only blue flame I like is located here in Atlanta. You know, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? I wonder if that's where they got their name from. I doubt it though, but that would be dope if they. Anyway, I'm sidetracked. My bad.
These hot gases travel underground in the absence of oxygen. If they're hot enough when they emerge from a vent, the sulfur ignites upon contact with oxygen in the atmosphere. The volcano remains active. The last big eruption occurred in 1817. The smaller eruption since then caused very little damage, but presents a danger to anyone mining sulfur or visiting the lake. Number 9. Most dangerous train journey. Pampan Bridge is a railway bridge that connects the town of Mandapan in mainland India with Mampan Island. Opened in 1914, it was India's first sea bridge and was the longest sea bridge in India for almost 100 years. The rail bridge is, for the most part, a conventional bridge resting on concrete piers, but has a section midway which can be raised to let ships and barges pass through. However, the bridge is located in one of the world's most corrosive environments, making its maintenance a challenging job. The location
Look how narrow it is. Like the train is literally hanging over it. Pretty much it look like from here.
is also a cyclone-prone high wind velocity zone. The construction of this bridge has left many engineers wondering how it still stands tall and strong even today. And in 1964, an estimated 25-foot storm surge stuck the bridge, overturning a passenger train, killing more than 200 passengers on board. Then, almost 50 years.
So yeah, we're all thinking the same way. Like this doesn't even need to be in service. This bridge, it should be blocked off. Look at it. Them hanging out the window, you could barely see where the bridge is up under the train, fam. Like, no.
Later,
Like you said, a good gust of wind come through, it's over.
the bridge suffered minor damage when a naval barge drifted into it. But the bridge still stands today. As India's first sea bridge, it has almost become a tourist attraction by itself as people watch in awe when the two levees on the bridge open up to let ships pass through. Indian railways are vying to bring the bridge to UNESCO's World Heritage List. Number 8. ROOPKUND Skeleton Lake. High in India's Himalayas, 16,500 feet above sea level and nestled in a snowy valley at the base of 3 Himalayan mountain peaks, is a place known as Skeleton Lake. The lake itself is not huge, only 130 feet wide and 8 feet deep, but its beauty is mesmerizing. But the lake and surrounding slopes are strewn with hundreds of human bones. Depending on the season and weather, the lake, which is frozen most of the year, expands and shrinks. Only when the snow melts for a few months in summer, August and September, are the skeletons visible. Most are well preserved, some with flesh still attached. These are the remains of an estimated 600 to 800 people. The secret here was first chanced upon by a forest ranger in 1942. He initially thought the skeletons belonged to fallen Japanese soldiers trying to invade India. A closer inspection proved the bones to be much older. In 2004, a team traveled to ROOPKUND and retrieved about 30 skeletons. The lake's high altitude and icy temperatures had preserved much of the remains, with some of the skeletons still having hair and flesh attached. Indian geneticists conducting DNA tests concluded the skeletons were roughly 1,200 years old. The study shed a little light on what may have happened, but the mystery was far from solved. Number 7. Walking leaves. Talk about camouflage excellent. Leaf insects, or walking leaves, are some of the most remarkable leaf mimics in the entire animal kingdom. As you can see, these insects take the appearance of a leaf to hide from predators. They do this so accurately that predators often aren't able to distinguish them from real leaves. In some species, the edge of the leaf insect's body even has the appearance of bite marks. To further confuse
You see how still he was? He blended in perfectly.
predators, when the leaf insect walks, it rocks back and forth to mimic a real leaf being blown by the wind. Genius, right? The female has large feathery forewings that lie edge to edge on the abdomen and resemble, in their vein pattern, the midrib and veins in a leaf. Females are flightless, and so the hind wings have no function. The male has ample, non-leaf-like functional hind wings. The males can fly once they become adults, and they generally will do this often when disturbed. This species of leaf insect is very quiet during the day, but becomes active during the night. When they will walk in a stop-go kind of way, as if they're moved by the wind. Leaf insects occur from South Asia through Southeast Asia to Australia, and they're among the most successful camouflagers known to exist. Number 6. Scarewolf. They're officially known in Japan as super monster wolves, but we're loving the name Scarewolf. But don't worry, they weren't created to terrorize local residents. They serve a very important purpose. Engineers designed these robots to stop animals from eating farmer crops, and so many farms here have become home to various yet oddly horrifying versions of them. The first official trial of the robot wolf just ended, and surprise, it was a resounding success. In fact, it was such a success that the wolf is entering mass production. In truth, the story of the robot wolf is more than a little problematic. Wolves went extinct in Japan in the early 1800s. Now, parts of the region are overrun with deer, wild boar, and aggressive bears. They love to feast on farmers' rice and chestnut crops. Obviously, farmers had to come up with a solution. Fast forward 200 years, engineers created this robotic wolf to replace the species they killed off. But there is some good here. Ultimately, the trials revealed that the wolf has an effective radius of just over a half mile, making it more effective than an electric fence.
Dang, I wasn't expecting him to say that far. Oh man, I want to hear it though.
Anything outside that, you'll have to invest in a few to ward off hungry predators. Number 5.
Dang.
Cliff commute. In this remote part of China, kids need to be ultra brave just to get to school. To attend class, backpack-carrying pupils from a village in Sichuan province must take on a 2,600-foot rock face, scrambling down rickety ladders and clawing their way over bare rocks as they go. And when footage of the killer climb reached the media, people were shocked and very concerned. But the head of the 72 family farming community, which produces peppers and walnuts, told the press that there had been insufficient room to build a school for local children on the mountaintop. The wooden ladders used to move up and down the mountain are, like the village, hundreds of years old. And sadly, an unconfirmed...
That's scary, fam. That's scary, bro. And imagine the kids that were like us that, walked to school by themselves. I was that kid. You know what I mean? My grandmother had to work when I lived with her. So I had to walk to school. Granted, it wasn't too far, but yeah. When I was in elementary, I walked to school. When I went to middle school and it wasn't super far away, I walked to school. So imagine these kids, man, as a parent, how could you even, you know what I mean, focus at work knowing your kid has to travel through all of this to get to school, bro? That's scary.
The amount of villagers have plunged to their deaths after losing their grip during the climb, while many more have been badly injured. The trek to school is now considered so grueling that the children have been forced to board, only returning to their mountaintop homes to see their families twice a month. But needless to say, the uproar over the students' hair-raising commute brought promises of government action. The plan is for a steel stair.
Thank you. Like, give it up for that. Thank you. Somebody heard. That's where social media comes into play, man, and it can be helpful because a lot of people are push stuff under the rug. But when it gets on social media and it goes viral, then all the fingers start pointing towards them. They got to act. They got to do something. So that there is the positive benefits right there of social media.
Staircase to be built to connect the deprived hamlet with the outside world until a permanent solution was found. Number 4. Ancient handprints. Archaeologists believe they've discovered the world's oldest known representational artwork. 3 hand-stenciled wild pigs painted deep in a limestone cave on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi at least 45,500 years ago. The ancient images were found in a cave made with red ochre pigment. The painting appears to depict a group of Sulawesi warty pigs, two of which appear to be fighting. Those two images are badly damaged, but the third, possibly watching the drama unfold, remains in near pristine condition. The handprints are like an artist's signature. It's one of the most spectacular and well-preserved figurative animal paintings known in the whole region. The paintings provide clues about what life was like in ancient times here. These are small native pigs that are endemic to Sulawesi and are still found on the island, although in ever-dwindling numbers. The common portrayal of these warty pigs in the Icy Age rock also are the ancient hunting culture. An archaeologist student discovered the cave and its prehistoric paintings in 2017. It's only accessible during the dry season via a long trek over mountains through a rough forest path. Number 3. UFO houses. Mystery surrounds this semi-abandoned resort, home to the last pod of Futuro, the world-famous UFO houses in Taiwan. They may be the largest pod houses in the world. The Futuro houses, designed by a Finnish architect, resemble whimsical flying saucers. This particular pod, comprising about 6 Futuros, is scattered throughout a large complex of Venturo houses, another retro-futuristic prefab house model by the same architect.
They just preparing us for whenever they show up, how we're gonna live soon. That's all they do.
The prefabricated plastic oddities were originally designed as ski chalets light enough to be airlifted onto any terrain, although the ones here swap the adjustable UFO-style legs for pebble concrete staircases. The UFO-shaped house closest to the entrance of the park boasts a fully functioning airplane-style door and windows. Inside the small circular space are a sitting area, kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. It's not hard to imagine this place is new. Such potential with cutting-edge architecture and the underlying promise of the techno-wondrous future, the curved lines of walls and windows, the modern building materials interspersed with stone and tile. These houses are a relic of the forgery of an ideal on the far side of the world from where it was born. Number 2. Face Kini. This wacky but fun fashion craze reportedly began in China in 2012. The nylon swimming mask that covers the face and neck is worn to protect users from harmful UV rays, as well as pollution and jellyfish stings. Paler skin is historically seen as a sign of prosperity across China, and beachgoers often go to extreme lengths to protect themselves from the sun. And today, the face kini, originally worn by middle-aged people to protect their skin from the sun, has found its way into a high-end fashion in New York.
I was about to say, why haven't we heard about this? One key thing for me was the selling point was the protect from jellyfish things. Look, you got me. I'm sold.
Paris and Milan. That's fashion for you. The bizarre spread was pictured sporting the colorful face kinis while wearing expensive designer swimsuits and jewelry. Despite how cool it's become, there's an increasing awareness of the dangers of sun exposure. As well as avoiding sun damage, the face kini also has other advantages, with women reporting that it made them feel better about bearing it all in a swimsuit. And as you can see, they come in various colors, themes, and styles. While it seems to have impressed top fashion editors, other social media users remain unconvinced. It looks like bank robbers are raiding the beach, one critic commented. Number 1. Dragon chickens. No, we're not looking at a hybrid animal in a Game of Thrones episode, and they may look horribly deformed, but these dragon chickens are among the world's most expensive poultry, as their massive thighs are a delicacy in Vietnam. The bizarre-looking breed, also called the Dong Tao chicken, is prized for its delicious meat and was once bred exclusively.
Yeah, if I eat one of those, bro, I'm gonna wake up and be 7'3" tomorrow. I just know it. I just know it.
For the country's royal family. Dragon chickens, usually served in restaurants that cater to the wealthy, are native to this region. A pair of these chickens can cost a staggering $2,500. The bird is in high demand, but also in short supply, which explains its high price. The birds, which enjoy a meal of crickets, are extremely sensitive to changes in temperature and tend to lay fewer eggs than common chickens. The bird's bulbous legs are covered with reddish scales and can grow to be as thick as a person's wrist. Their huge legs and feet also make the hatching process more difficult, so more attention is needed from farmers to produce chicks. So, breeders have to assist the hens in order to produce those chicks. A newborn chick takes 8 months to 1 year to become a sellable bird, but when they're ready, people pay the big bucks to feast on them. We did our best, but some discoveries really do remain unexplainable, and Asia as a continent is not alone. These unsettling discoveries can be found all over the world if you look hard enough, and that's just a part of the fun. So, like and subscribe.
Oh, wow. I'm just lost for words at that chicken, bro. Like, I know if I eat that, it's gotta have some steroids or something in it. Like, I'm gonna wake up 7'3" the next day. And for that price, I better. You know, I better wake up with some type of something. Sheesh. And I be complaining now. You go get the little whole chicken from some of these stores now. That's like that big now. It's like, what I'm supposed to do with that? I have more food stuck between my teeth than that. Don't do me like that. But then you see that, you be like, maybe I'm gonna just take this little one and be good, be happy. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's gonna do to me. You know what I mean? But y'all get at me in the comment section, man, and let me know what you thought about this video and what they captured in Asia. Did it shock the world? Absolutely did to me. Y'all let me know, all right? And stick around and stay tuned. So next one I'm gone. Peace.